Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another clip. Today we're going to have a quick talk regarding the different types of filament and pretty much the different types of materials that you can use to print. This is something that I have seen people asking questions and so on, and even myself when I use different filaments. They all have different settings that you want to apply. They all pretty much work different. That's why they're different materials. I guess this was one of the mistakes that I had done in the past, and was not applying the proper settings to the different filaments when printing with them. So in the past, when I decided to try filaments like silk filaments or shiny filaments, I would always have issues printing with them. And they would either crack or there was just something wrong with them, regardless of me applying the temperatures that were suggested. So for example, I've been saving this piece right here, which was printed on a shiny black filament, and it was printed, I think, around 230, probably, maybe 220 degrees, and the print finished. And I had been printing other small things, so I was noticing little issues here and there. But I didn't have this issue with this type of filament before printing at 220. But it seemed like maybe this roll or this batch had something different. But the situation is that when this print was done and I removed it from the bed, as you can see, the print, these two were supposed to be the same. They're pretty big. The print itself came apart. Let me just show you. If I start pulling this, no matter where I pull it from, it just comes apart. It's that weak. And not only was it weak on the outside, it was just weak everywhere. The supports were just coming off by itself. And even if I just grab this material printed on the same settings, everything was the same, only maybe 30 or 20 more degrees, which is 20 over what's suggested for this type of filament. If I press this with my hand, I've been holding this for that reason, this literally collapsed in my hand. Now it's all squished. Obviously, if I do this one's all messed up, but this middle part, everything just continues to break very, very easy. This is the same roll of filament and the same material. This is the same roll of filament, same printing settings, only 30 degrees more. There was a lot of stringing going on with the material, but it seems like that was the price to pay. Maybe 10 degrees less would have done a little bit better. But that's one of the things that I see people asking questions a lot about when they buy certain filaments because they look nice, or you can print certain things and get a shiny outcome. Some filaments work great. They print on the temperature suggested, and they provide good results. You get shiny outcome. I think this was a gray silk, and it's pretty steady. The color is pretty good. So overall, the results are good, but it could happen that I will order maybe the same color filament from a different brand possibly, and I run into issues, the filament clogging the nozzle or the filament not printing properly, like in the case of that figure that I was showing. So a lot of issues can come up that you don't expect or that are not supposed to be there because you're following the instructions. But I guess this comes with experience, that you got to try other things. If the filament seems to be clogging up, I would suggest putting up another 20-30 degrees on your machine, and that might just solve the issue, which it did on my case for many filaments and different brands. I guess the point of this video is to let you know to try, and don't think that the filament is defective just because it's not printing right on the first try. You might want to, I'm trying to break this. Oh, I'm kind of scared because I could feel like I couldn't break it. on 20% infill, that's how it should be. It should be pretty strong and steady. So try different things, try different filaments, try different settings for your filaments, and ask around, ask people around, be more specific. What kind of filament are you buying? What kind of colors are you buying? And maybe other people would provide more experienced results. It might not be the most accurate one, but a most experienced result. Try different filaments, but I would suggest, for example, this helmet right here is printed with shiny filament, silk filament. I wouldn't be able to finish this by sanding and priming because I would kill the color of the filament. Have in mind those kind of situations where you might not get the perfect result, but what you want to keep is a filament. Some settings might need to be tweaked on your machine, some settings might need to be tweaked on the slicer. I hope this gives you some insight when it comes to different materials, whether that's PLA or whether that's silk PLA. Obviously ABS works in a different way also. All these materials are just very fun to play with, and don't get discouraged if you don't get the results right away. Keep trying. I'll see you guys in the next one.